What's going on, everybody? Mark Conway with the Midwest Horror Network. Thank you so much for clicking on this link for the Nightmares podcast. If you do want to hear just the audio version of this podcast, click the Spotify link below.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Corey Clark, aka Poltergeist OD. So thank you so much for taking the time to jump on. I know we've been working quite a bit to get this going. It's been
We have
a lot of messages back and forth on Slasher, but I was very happy, and also too, I'm gonna gush a little bit, like real quick, man. I'm a fan. Like there is no doubt about it. Like I found when I found you on Slasher, I started going on YouTube, and I absolutely fell in love with your stuff. I'm a huge. These gentlemen have varying degrees of musical prowess. I have a huge eclectic influence, and you're probably the only YouTube-oriented songwriter that I will play in my car and have the windows down. No joke.
Damn, that's awesome to hear, man.
I
Thank you.
played you on, like, especially like the Michael Myers track, the Halloween track.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Played that.
That's the one that started it all.
I know, man, and then and it's fun to to actually do that, and I'm like, I was really excited to get this interview going. So again, thank you so much, man, for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
So I think so Brandon and I usually go through a series of different questions, and I think a good place to start though is I found it interesting. Obviously, I am a big rap fan. I have been a fan for a long time. Unfortunately, my rap fandom kind of ended in 2003. That's when I left the community.
Fair enough.
Like, I gotta get out of here.
I understand that.
But I think so, and you kind of have an interesting kind of niche or whatever you want to say, where you mix horror, which is obviously very important to us. You can tell by the posters. By the way, we do have a nice Mars Attacks guy way up in the back there. We made sure it was up just for you.
Yeah.
So I'm very curious. What were some of your early rap influences, and then when did horror come into your life, and then like kind of when did you decide to mix that? Because that's what I'm the most curious about is when did these two paths in your life converge, and when did you decide that I want to mix these two things together?
All right. Well, I honestly didn't even really like rap until like a few years ago. I was hanging out with the guys in OD. I was mostly like a deathcore, fucking grindcore kid. Like, hell yeah.
That would be Zach over there. He'll talk.
If it's not fucking brutal, I don't want to hear it, right? Like, so I was that kid growing up playing guitar and shit. I met OD in high school. They were always rapping. I was always making fun of them, like, fucking rap sucks. And just as a joke one night, I was drunk as hell, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write a verse. And they were like, that was actually pretty dope, man. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna keep doing this. And I fell in love with the genre right away. Like I heard Brother Lynch Hung, I heard like Tech Nine, Jaron Benton, Childish Gambino, those guys, and I was just like, hell yeah, man. I could see myself doing this. And we started to get a couple shows going, started to get some traction here in Edmonton, and I flew out to LA to compete for Mission Underground in like 2015. It's been pretty uphill since then, and I've always been a horror fan. I've always collected DVDs, Blu-rays. I got like 4,000 movies or some shit. And I don't know. It's just two things I love, just making it work.
That's fantastic.
That's fucking awesome. I got drunk one night and just fucking. I was like, I'm gonna do this. Just talk.
Yeah, they were just like, hey, that was actually pretty dope. I was like, okay, I'll try it out.
All the musical influences in my life always have that, like, hey, can you do it again? Type thing. Like, oh, wait a minute, that was actually pretty good. Let's see if you can do that magic trick again. That's awesome. So imagine what's your earliest memory with horror though? Because obviously there's a huge marriage between what's going on with your music. So I'm very curious about when did horror become a thing in your life, and because the influences are everywhere in your music. It is your music at the end of the day. So I'm very curious about when did that become a very important part of your life. We all have our own stories about how that happened, but I'm very curious.
Everybody's got that story.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I was like 6 years old, and my dad showed me it. So I was pretty young, probably too young, but I wasn't scared at all. Like I never had a fear of clowns or anything. I was just like, I want to see more of this. So he was like, all right, Child's Play. We watched The Thing. We watched Aliens. It was my dad. He just got me right into it. I guess I was a brave kid.
That's Zach. You had similar. You had a similar.
I was gonna say, for the record,
history.
you're never too young to get into horror. I started at like age 2.
Oh shit.
Yeah, me and my mom have been watching horror movies since forever, and me and my grandfather watched action movies. So, yeah, mom, Freddy, Jason, Pinhead, all that. Grandfather, Stallone, and Schwarzenegger.
All that matters is here we are.
That is exactly what it is. So you said earlier that the Halloween one started it all. Was that the first one that you did, or is that the first one you wrote? I was curious about what you meant by that.
Well, I mean, I was rapping with Obscene Division, and I did some solo shit as Poltergeist. Just general rap. I didn't really like have a style. It was always like dark and horrorcore, but this dude hit me up and wanted to do a fan-made documentary on Halloween. And he was like, I really like your style. Do you think you could write like a rap song about Halloween, about Michael Myers? So I was like, hell yeah, man. I'll try it out. And I got my guy to make the beat, got it back right away. I smoked a joint and wrote it in 20, 30 minutes. Yeah. It just came to me. I was like, this is easy to me. Like, this is what I love to do. And I was like, okay, this is my style now.
Nice. The so you know what I just to get a little bit of history background. You said that it sounds like there's a couple different people that are involved in the YouTube channel itself. Are there separate people that are involved in this? There's people who make the beats. How does the process work? For what we see on the YouTube channel, who else is involved? Because I know that there are other. I've listened to several of your songs now, and I know that there are other rappers that do come on. So, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that is all entirely you. The voices sound a little different in some of the beats. So I'm very curious if there's other people involved. Who writes the beats? What's the team look like, and how did that all get going and get started?
Well, I get most of my beats from Squib and Mock Beats. Mock Beats is in Amsterdam. Squib is in the States. Oh, fuck. I forget which state he is. But shout out Squib. I'm sorry, bro.
One of those.
Yeah, Squib will be like, yo, do you want to do a Texas Chainsaw Massacre song? I was like, hell yeah. He's like, here's a beat. I already made it. And he's got like quotes from the movie in it and everything like that. So I was like, okay, I guess I got to watch these movies again. So I'll watch the movies and I'll write down all my favorite parts, my favorite quotes, scenes that I think would sound cool in a rap song, shit like that. And I just have like these random notes for days and days. And I just try to make rhymes and sentences here and there and piece it all together like a puzzle. Then I send it off to Christian Ari at NBF Studios here in Edmonton, and he mixes and masters everything, sends it back to me. If I approve, then I get working on the video, and then I got to watch all the movies again. I got to cut up all my favorite scenes, any references I might have made, cut that all together, try to make it work with the song, and then comes the lyrics. I got to write all the lyrics out, make sure they all match to when I'm saying it. Timing is crucial, and it's a painstaking process, but I actually fucking love doing it.
That's what it's all about. Trust me, we're all, Midwest Horror Network is not only, the typical YouTube interview and everything else. We're also an open and active studio. So we make the short films and we have series. So we know all about painstaking work, don't we, guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
nothing like watching the same scene or hearing the same thing over and over and over for like an hour.
Oh yeah.
More in our case.
It's more, and then also Zach's our resident editor, so he gets to hear all of our stuff over and over again to the point where he doesn't want to hear our voices anymore. He don't want any part of
silent time, everybody.
No, it's him going to play PlayStation, and go kill something or so. I don't know. So I know Brandon has a few questions in this, but I want to tell you a quick, a funny story, and this is before I met you. We watch Goosebumps episodes as fun to decompress from the day, and
Is it right here? Can you see it?
Oh my God, that's
Oh,
awesome.
shit.
That is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Hurt like a bitch. Totally worth it.
Has Goosebumps G tattooed on his neck.
That is
It's awesome.
That is he's like, you're really representing kids Canadian television right there. So we, and obviously we have all kinds of fun things to say. We a lot of smoke machines in those episodes, a lot of dry ice. The amount of dry ice the budget for dry ice must have been ridiculous on most of those
I
episodes.
wonder what it was.
I do too.
A
Like
quarter of the budget, I would imagine.
exactly.
There's got to be some guy I can call, right?
You
with the dry ice guy?
I imagine. We have to imagine.
There's a yeah, it's just called Dry Ice Guy.
I'll check the credits.
Please do. I remember watching an episode. We were all silent. Was watching. I think it was like a camp. Camp.
Welcome to Camp Nightmare.
Welcome to Camp Nightmare. And it was all silent. And there was a huge amount of smoke coming off of the roof or something. I was like, do you think that like the director came on set and he's like, 15 more smoke machines, otherwise I walk.
They've got to bring in another power source.
That was the weirdest thing because like the smoke is obviously just coming off of the roof and falling down the ground. It was the weirdest looking thing.
Beautiful.
It is. We have very fun things. The finest in 90s kids Canadian television, along with Are You Afraid of the Dark? And the funny thing is we used to make jokes about rapping the intro because it has that beat already to it. And I used to make rap jokes. I used to like do a scratch sound during everything. We would just laugh and everything else. And then I couldn't believe it when I found your channel and found 2 separate videos of you rapping about Goosebumps, which is
We're thinking about making a third. There's a lot more books.
please do. I will absolutely enjoy it. So I know
It kind of goes into what
Yeah.
I was going to talk about with you. So I really like both the Goosebumps videos, both songs. There's like a whole 4-year difference in between them. So I think it's awesome that you had the original one, then it looks like you did a re-upload of that original one, and then a few months later you had the sequel song, essentially. So, and of course you showed us the tattoo on your neck. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess you're kind of a casual Goosebumps fan.
You guys mentioned Welcome to Camp Nightmare. I fucking watched that episode yesterday. I'm not kidding.
And what really struck me is like a lot of times when I talk to somebody about Goosebumps, it's the conversation is always about the show or that original run of 62, 63 books, whatever number it was.
Right.
But you were referencing like the Goosebumps 2000, the Tales to Give You Goosebumps, the Choose Your Own Adventure books were mentioned in there. Like you hit like the entire. I think I even saw some of the modern age Goosebumps books mentioned in those songs. So you hit the whole spectrum of Goosebumps. So is there a reason for that? Like, do you just love Goosebumps as a whole that much? Have you kept up with the series throughout years?
I haven't kept up with the books personally, but like if I see them anywhere, I'm gonna buy them. But I'll be honest, I looked up a huge list of all the titles. We wrote them all down, cut them up into little pieces of paper, put them in a bag, and we drew them. And we're like, that's how we're gonna write our verses.
This is completely random.
Yeah, you heard it here, folks. There's no finite, decision process. Just whatever comes up, Pat.
Sometimes bucket way of doing things is the best way of doing things.
The universe is chaos.
It's my favorite way of doing things.
That's fantastic. You know what though? Did you watch? I'm sure that had, obviously, you typing up, all this stuff and putting it in a hat is great. But did you have, was that a big thing growing up? Did you? I know for us it was a big thing. That and Are You Afraid of the Dark? So I'm curious if that was a big thing growing up for you. Was reading the Goosebumps and watching the show or anything like that?
Oh, I still have a huge shelf of Goosebumps books. I still have a huge DVD collection. I don't have everything, obviously, because there's so fucking much. There's some guys who just like covered their house in Goosebumps stuff, and I love it. I'm jealous. But yeah, growing up, man, I was that Are You Afraid of the Dark and Dragon Ball Z ran my life. That was it for me.
The two scary stories in an anime.
Yeah.
Gotta love that. So you know what though, I'm curious though, like what are some of your favorite episodes from those from Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Are You Afraid of the Dark is easy. It's a tale of the dark music. I love that one.
Tales in the Dark. I don't even
I
remember that one.
recognize the title, but the plot's not coming to me.
Yeah, what was that about?
Fuck.
Wait, was that the one, or was it? Hang on. Laughing in the Dark was the one where
They go down into the cellar and there's the door that opens and there's like a circus in there and a skeleton pops out.
Oh,
The Laughing in the Dark, or oh man, it's
one where a kid steals the
nose.
the nose of
No.
the clown.
that was the dark music. Tale of the Laughing in the Dark was Zebo the Clown.
Yeah. Ebo the
Right.
clown.
So yeah, it was the Tale of the Dark music.
That's
He's got like a radio in the cellar, and whenever he puts it on, this cellar door opens and like the skeleton pops out. I don't know. I remember that scene.
that's awesome. What about Goosebumps?
Which I actually saw
Goosebumps?
Zebo the Clown pop up in something else recently.
Really?
I can't remember what I was watching, but it was like there's like this whole gang of like monsters or clowns or something. And I'm just like, oh, that's Zebo the Clown. So it's
Nice.
I guess they rented the clown from the same prop house. I can't remember if it was something if I was watching it on streaming or actually I think I know what it was. I was watching Erie, Indiana.
Oh, okay. That was another
Yeah,
Canadian
I-
show, right?
90% sure that that's what I was watching, but yeah, it's whatever I was watching. They probably rented the clown for the same prop house.
Y'all share a lot of stuff, man. Like a lot of the same cast members that were on Goosebumps are on Are You Afraid of the Dark as well. They trade it off all the time.
I noticed that too. Like, obviously, because I had to do the videos and stuff, I had to rewatch all these episodes. And yeah, I did notice a lot of crossover actors. Like,
Ryan Gosling is one of them.
Yeah.
One of the big ones.
Wasn't Jay Baruchel in both shows? I know he was in.
I know he was in Are You Afraid of the Dark.
I'm pretty
He
sure
was in the pinball episode.
I'm pretty sure Hayden Christensen was in both as well.
Okay.
The dear old Anakin Skywalker. I think he was in both. And actually, Ryan Gosling was in the episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark with Gilbert Godfrey.
Hell yeah.
It was
what the station. I don't remember the number.
Okay, so like it was all like literally it was two brothers, and one of the brothers was obsessed with death. That it was the same kid that played the really gross nerdy kid on Lizzie McGuire. And he was like obsessed with death. He was like goth and everything else. And he actually ended up in the back of a hearse, and he ended up switching with a dead body, and then he ended up in like a facility. Like
This like purgatory area,
and
like a waiting area.
Yeah, and Gilbert Godfrey was like dressed as like a maitre d' from an old movie theater, like taking tickets.
That's good stuff.
Like,
that's the
welcome
juice.
to death. I remember watching it now, and I was like, I'm pretty sure if you hear Gilbert Godfrey all the time, pretty sure that's hell, not purgatory.
I don't know, man. I fucking love
It could be
Gilbert
worse.
Godfrey.
I
guess it could.
I do too, because it's fucking hilarious. But yeah, and Ryan Gosling was in that, and I think that was also. I think they also filmed Young Hercules up in Canada as well.
Nice.
So he had a whole gauntlet of all like low budget Canadian television.
I'm pretty proud of my city, Edmonton, for Santa's sleigh.
Santa's sleigh. Never even heard of that.
Oh my God, you guys! Watch Santa's sleigh.
SLAY.
Yeah, it's Goldberg.
Okay, so Brandon knows something we don't.
Brandon knows something we. All right, come on. All right, but now we got to know what's going on.
Goldberg plays Santa, and he lost a curling bet with God or something like that. to serve for 1,000 years, but now that bet's over, he's like, fuck humanity, and he comes to Edmonton and just starts killing people and
I
destroying
do remember
everything.
that. I remember that.
Hold on. So it's Goldberg.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the
Yes.
Goldberg.
As Santa
Yes.
killing people.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Oh yeah, and there's a ton of awesome one-liners. There's a ton of violence. It like starts with him just busting through a chimney during a family dinner.
And I actually remember watching this as a kid. I watched like one scene where the kids were running away from him and they were hiding in like a garage while he was coming down the alleyway. I'm like, holy shit, that's Goldberg.
Yeah.
This sounds awesome.
The last time I saw him in anything was in Ready to Rumble, which these guys have not seen. And if you haven't seen Ready to Rumble, I highly recommend it. It's amazing wrestling movie.
I'll write it down.
It's awesome. If you're a fan of wrestling, you'll laugh your ass off. It is such a make fun of wrestling movie. I highly recommend it. But now we have to watch it because it's horror oriented.
I just sent Zach the Amazon link for the DVD.
Yeah, that's happening. That is
Awesome.
definitely happening. That's actually really cool. So with Goosebumps, what were some of your favorite episodes from there?
Scarecrow Walks at Midnight is a classic.
Just watched that recently.
Defined recently.
Oh god, yeah, that's true.
One of the more recent
just saying.
episodes on our list. That doesn't mean we watched it recently, though.
Time is eternal in 2020.
Yeah, we're going through the dreaded season 3 right now. Our last one we watched was an old story.
It was
okay, yeah.
It's bad. I mean, some of the stuff is bad. You know, I miss some, and now I'm starting to miss like some of the hilariously bad ones, like the Blob or Monster Blood. Like part 1 where it's in a town, but then part 2 it's on a 70s
On a plane?
Yeah, it's on a 70s.
Amazing.
Okay, so here's the only thing that still bothers me from that episode is the kid crawling through the overhead compartments, and he goes all the way to the other end. And I'm like, they don't go all the way to the other end. I've been on a lot of planes in my life. I have
been on a Hollywood plane.
They're
different.
And then Brandon always comes with, well, a movie needs to happen.
You got to put something in the show.
Something has to happen.
The biggest problem with that episode was the fucking space between the seats was way too big. I'm just like, there's no fucking room on a goddamn plane like that. Get out of here.
The funny thing about editing, when I was editing that video, the Goosebumps one, the scene in My Hairiest Adventure when the dog is sitting on the porch, and then in the intro, its eyes turn yellow.
Yeah.
If you look behind the dog, behind the fence, there's somebody walking down the road, and to make that effect happen, they like pause in the middle of the road. It's like a freeze frame, and then the dog's eyes turn.
Because they didn't have motion tracking back then. They're just like,
freeze the
frame.
Yeah.
I can't remember what episode it was, but it was probably fairly early on that, because we're watching on like a 55-inch screen. And just one episode just out of nowhere, because, the intro is the intro. We're not really paying attention to it. We all know it. We all love it. But just for some reason, my eyes happen to catch that exact phenomenon that you just described. And we must have rewound and watched that thing like 50 times before we actually got to the episode, because we just couldn't believe it.
The amount of stuff that you'll catch in the background and all the other, plots and everything. I mean, the funny thing is though, you talk to anybody that's I'm assuming, that you're, closer to our age, that's a fan of horror. I don't know a single person that's in that community who wasn't in some way, had an influence from Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark? It's damn near impossible for anybody that was a 90s kid not to have been a horror fan now and then not be touched by Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark in some way. It's damn near impossible.
They were just the catalyst for our age.
Yes.
We were probably all bound to get into horror anyway, but when you're a kid and you're not allowed to watch horror movies, quote unquote, that's what we had, right? So
it felt like you're getting away with something. I mean, I remember I was watching Chris Stuckman, and he was talking about, he was reviewing Are You Afraid of the Dark, and he said, it felt like you're getting away with something. And I mean, even in I even go back and watch some of the old Nickelodeon, shows, not just Are You Afraid of the Dark and everything else. And I go, wow, they really got away with some of the stuff. I mean, I remember an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark where they're in a library and the old librarian is stealing the kids' voices and then locking them in a room.
The Quiet Librarian.
The Quiet, is that what it was called? The Quiet.
Yeah.
I never remember the title. The
Tale of the Quiet Librarian. I actually, okay, I'll just announce this here. We're making an Are You Afraid of the Dark song. So
very nice.
Yeah, and I have a line about the Quiet Librarian in it, so that's how I. So I'm not like an Are You Afraid of the Dark freak, but I'm a freak.
Well, you do have a Goosebumps tattoo, my friend. So there is that to be said.
Bit of a nerd.
No, you're in good company. You're in complete good company. You should, you know what? If you should right down that hall. There's about 4 or 5 bookcases of movies that are all Brandon's.
I'd say about 80% horror, maybe.
80% horror, and I mean like legitimate bookcases that are there, just filled with movies.
He even includes the all-time classic Chud 2.
Oh, I have Chud 2. And you know what? That song, that Chud, I love hearing it. I don't know what it is. It's so bad.
I'm glad I met another fan.
When Brandon wants to say a lot of things, I can feel it behind him. He's just like,
you know what? I can hear those things.
He's been trying to give away that DVD for like years. Nobody will take it, or Blu-ray. That gets a Blu-ray, but we have so many other movies that don't. He's been trying to give it away. It's like The Mask with Jim Carrey, like where he throws it out the window, but then it comes boomerangs back and lands on it. Like that's what he does with that DVD.
The Curse of Bud.
Every time it disappears, it's just like I finally got rid of it.
Nope. And then also too, I had a nice little birthday prank surprise that I did to Brandon recently. Brandon is a Jeepers Creepers 3 denier. He refuses to recognize that movie existed. So what I did was I ordered Jeepers Creepers 3 on Blu-ray and from Amazon, and then I UPS'd it to him with a sticky note that says, "Happy birthday, buddy. Enjoy." And then what?
It was a gift, of course. Because I saw that movie in theaters, Jeepers Creepers 3, because it was an alleged one-night showing. And the moral of the story is, if they ever just do a one-night showing for a new release movie, there's a reason why. It wasn't.
Okay.
I've never seen an audience turn against a movie quite like the way I saw an audience turn against Jeepers Creepers 3. And it was a sold-out theater, too. Like, by the halfway point, everybody in the theater was laughing and just tearing it to shreds. You'd hear one person, like the front corner of the theater, shout something, everybody would laugh. Then somebody over here would shout something, everybody would laugh. Like, nobody thought it was a good movie.
Just barely paying attention.
Yeah, and I even told the guys just how bad it was, and nobody believed me just how bad it actually was. Like, there's that where the Creepers van had those freaking, essentially what are the red shells from Mario Kart, where they'll hit you no matter what. He didn't believe me, but then he finally saw the movie, and what'd you discover?
It was stupid.
I was correct, wasn't I?
It was stupid, but still.
But then, so when I saw it in the theater, I saw the movie by itself, just with the memories of the first 2 in my mind. And then when Mark me, I'm just like, this is, as much as I hate this movie, it is a gift, so I will watch it, but I'm going to watch it after I watch the first 2. And I've got to say, in watching it, watching the trilogy, going 1, then 2, then 3, watching them all together, Jeepers Creepers 3 really is so much worse than I thought.
In context, it's even worse.
It really is.
And that sucks too, because I love Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. They're both great.
Usually it's the opposite. It's like, no, if you see the first one and the second one, like this one will make not this one.
It makes less sense.
Brandon has, you know what though, I will say this though, I'm not gonna watch it. I mean, because it was, first of all, it was a hilarious birthday prank that I was able to pull on him, but I will never watch it. Brandon's had a tremendous track record on what to recommend and what not to recommend. There's only one movie that I wholeheartedly disagree with him on, but besides that, he's had a pretty damn good track record of what is good and what is bad. You know, and two, after suffering through Maximum Overdrive, and he warned us, like the trailer's amazing. He's like, but he warned us. It's like, do not watch this movie. It is awful. Once it reaches the little truck stop, it falls off a cliff and it's boring to tears. Our other EP's wife literally fell asleep like halfway through the movie. It was that boring. So when he says something's bad, I'm gonna take his word for it. He only lost me on Terror Vision.
Terror Vision. That song.
No. Another one.
These are the only two
Another
existence
one?
that don't like that movie. I love it.
You know, I don't care. He likes Chud too, or Bud the Chud at least. I'm fine with that. I can live with
I
this.
pretty much only love shit movies. Like my favorite movies are like Dude Bro Party Massacre 3, Greener Grass,
This one?
Birdemic,
Birdemic.
Manborg. I love just low budget garbage.
Random question. Have you seen Santa Jaws by any chance?
I tried to watch it, but my stream was just like not working that day. I got to try it again, but
You don't
I am
need to.
interested. No?
No.
Even your streaming service said to stop playing. I'm like, no, you don't want to watch this.
It's actually like not even good bad.
So disappointing. Like the bad parts that could be funny bad. All the funny bad shit is in like the first 15 minutes. After that, it's just like, all right, so this needs to be a feature. So let's just draw this out for as long as we can with useless bullshit.
It sucks too, because with Brandon, like one of the first movies he really went to the paint about recommending was Night of the Creeps, which was fantastic. If you have not seen Night of the Creeps,
I own it.
Oh, okay. You know, there not many real true horror fans that haven't seen that movie. Brandon, what do you say to people when we haven't seen Night of the Creeps?
So whenever I meet somebody who has not seen Night of the Creeps, my immediate response is, well, I know what we're doing for the next 90 minutes. Zach is a victim of that. Mark is a victim of that. There are more victims of that than are here right now.
And I was happy to be a victim. And he earned so much good faith, and then his good faith just dropped off a cliff after Terror Vision.
And yet everybody we meet
I
likes
know.
Terror Vision.
Everyone
You're clearly in the minority.
Zach and I must be, because it's like a nail in our coffins of our opinions on the movie, because we meet so many people. Like
It's one of those things, yeah.
It sounds like two people need to give it a second chance.
No.
Or a third.
Fair.
Marcus on our side, okay?
Let me through. I'm gonna get something.
He's gonna get something real quick.
Nice.
Or I don't know. Favorite's probably a loose term, but we did Society.
Oh my god! I actually recently watched that movie for the first time.
What
the fuck?
Okay, so in the second episode of the Nightmares podcast, I go on a 15-minute rant. Maybe not 15, but like a solid 10-minute rant about that, because the first time I ever saw that movie, I didn't see the whole movie. I saw the last whole.
So you were like, it's boring.
The second time I actually enjoyed it even more because it had more context. But like I just went on a fucking rant because Brandon was researching. The topic we were doing was body horror, and I just happened to walk in. It's probably the strangest thing I've ever walked into in this apartment.
Which is saying something.
Which is saying something. So what the fuck are you watching, dude? It was something. It was definitely something. So that you just watched that movie for the first time?
Yeah, like 3-4 months ago. I was like, a lot of people recommending this. I see it all over Instagram, Slasher, and everything like that. So I was like, okay, all right, I'll give it a shot. First half of the movie, I was like, oh fuck, is it just gonna be like this? Because like I knew everybody was saying that it's like an intense, brutal movie to watch. So like the last 20 minutes is just worth it. It's I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, an hour and a half of build up will do that to you. The it was quite. I've told the guys I want to remix that with like 80s music. I want to take the soundtrack from Final Girls and put it in into that movie. And you know, I like when they were driving off into the sunrise, I'm like, this is just such a missed opportunity for Cruel Summer by Bangaranga to be playing
Bananarama.
or Bananarama or whatever the hell the name of that.
I fucking love that song, dude.
It's a great song. Just be perfect for that. So I know Brandon had a few more questions though about a couple different ones.
Yeah, we pretty much covered a lot of the bases here. Before we start, you mentioned that you have a Scream track coming out pretty soon. Is there anything you have to say about that for us to look forward to?
Well, like everything's ready to go. I'm just waiting on a local dubstep artist called Diametic to do a remix of it. Cause like I have this whole plan, this 20-day plan where I'm gonna promote the fuck out of it and just try to get the most out of it and see where that goes and try to build from there and you know, just try to make the most out of every single instead of just dropping it and saying, here, check this out.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
And I'm just curious, do you get as meta in the song as the movie does?
Very much so.
Oh,
This
fantastic.
pleases me.
This pleases me even
There's
more.
okay. There's a part where I even reference, you know, in Scary Movie where they go like, "What?"
Yeah. Nice. Oh man, I love it. You know, I love Scream. Brandon likes Scream. Zach hates Scream. The except Scream 3.
Oh, Scream 3 is fucking hilarious.
Scream 3 is my favorite.
There you go. God, it's such a fucking train wreck.
It's awesome.
It's such a train wreck. It's fucking reading the fact. What does it say? What does the fact say? Those who survive who can smell the gas and blows up, you know, half of the hills in Hollywood. Because reasons.
Amazing.
Because it's funny.
It's oh my god, it's one of those unintended comedies that I love so much. And a fantastic cameo from Carrie Fisher, which I also did love.
And Jay and Silent Bob.
And Jay and Silent Bob, which was a whole other thing with him and them and Wes Craven.
Oh right, there was that fucking scene. Okay, yeah.
And then Wes Craven had a cameo in Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, so they kind of did a little bit of back and forth on them. They got really super meta. It got all the way down to the point where Randy, showed up with in a videotape that he filmed right before he got killed. Conveniently.
Yeah, explaining the rules of a trilogy.
Could be fucking Reservoir Dogs before this is all over, man.
Yeah.
I die. And everybody in the audience is like, "Oh, thanks. I haven't fucking seen Reservoir Dogs yet. Thank you. I don't need to see that shit yet." I'm curious though too. I think you kind of explored a little bit before, but I'm curious about what you decide is next. For the different projects, you just do it the same way that you do lyrics. You just pull shit out of a hat and whatever comes out, you decide to do, or is it more about what I'm watching on TV or what inspires me on that day? I'm very curious about how you choose what the next thing is going to be.
Lately, I've been going by requests. Like I share my music a lot and I network and I'm always talking to people. So like everybody's always like, "Oh, hey, it would be cool if you did this. It'd be cool if you did this." So I pretty much just, anybody makes a recommendation.
No, don't do one for TerrorVision. Do one for Chud 2, please.
A Chud 2 track?
Yes.
Right. Just like not Chud, but just Chud 2, where just I'm Bud.
Chud 2. All right, I'll one up a Chud 2 TerrorVision mashup.
No, don't do that. Just do Chud 2. It'll be so.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if Zach had a question or if that's what he had a request for doing Chud.
Oh, that's my request, Chud 2. I'd play that on repeat throughout the house just to annoy the shit out of him.
Just for you, I'm gonna watch Chud 2 tonight, and I'll make some notes.
Woo woo!
When?
And then Brandon's, will to live is slowly fading from it.
My will to live has been gone for a very long time.
Oh shit.
So I know, and I know Brandon has a few questions on a couple of the different ones, a couple of the different reps. I'm curious though about, because obviously, so what made you want to do Mars Attacks? That's the funny thing is, we've talked about it recently on like a couple different podcasts. It's not necessarily horror, but it always seems to end up at horror conventions and other play. Obviously, you get like I said before, we get the mask up there. So I'm curious, are you just a fan of the movie?
A huge fan of the movie. I saw it when it came out. What was it, like 1997, 96, something like that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was pretty young when I saw it, and I loved it. I was always a big Mars Attacks fan. I got not a huge collection, but I got quite a bit of Mars Attacks stuff in my house. And I don't know, man, like nobody even asked me to do it. I was like, fuck it, I'm just doing this for me, and people like it. So
that's kind of cool, man. You kind of do things just for you rather than doing it for the the requests. So
I didn't expect a lot of clout from my Phantasm song, but then Dread Central like wrote an article about it and everything. I was like, okay, cool.
Nice. Really? What do you have? I didn't get a chance to read the article. What did he have to say?
Just like, hey, this Canadian rapper is given his homage to Phantasm, and I can't quote the article because I'm a stoner, but it was awesome, man. Like I woke up this morning, or not this morning, but one morning, and I saw a bunch of people tag me like, Dread Central has an article about you. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
It's fucking awesome.
That is fucking awesome. Go ahead, Bren. Oh, I thought you were gonna say something. When we ended up doing the Goosebumps podcast, we're gonna have to call you up and ask you to do like a quick, 20-second intro for us or something.
Maybe I'll have some bars for the third one to spit.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I'm curious, man. Are you able to freestyle whenever you want, or are you very much like I gotta build the lyrics and everything else? Do you do any kind of freestyling, or any kind of Halloween oriented battle rap?
I freestyle badly when I'm drunk.
Seems like a lot of your rapping decisions involve alcohol.
Yeah. No, I'm more of a writer, man. Like, I tried to do the freestyling when I started, and it's not my thing. I'm a writer.
No, that's totally fine. I mean, it's all about a personal preference about whatever you want to do. So so I know Zach has has a lot of background with metal music and everything else. So Zach, you have any questions?
So for what made you decide to do the Pumpkinhead one? Because that was, out of all the ones I listened to, that one was my favorite because it felt like the darkest. And also,
well, Pumpkinhead's always been a personal favorite of mine, so that was one for me too. Like some of them, I'm like the Michael one. Obviously, was that documentary that fell through, but I got a vibe for that. Then I was like, okay, I got to do the Tall Man because I fucking love Phantasm, and then. Yeah, I pretty much just pick the ones that I like, and then like lately I've been taking lots of requests. Like a lot of people have been asking me to do one about killer clowns from outer space, so I'm like in the middle of writing for that. It's going to be I'm going to try to make it as ridiculous as the movie is.
Please do that. Yeah. That'll be fantastic. And also too, man, it's kind of interesting. You have a very you have a very aggressive style that actually fits really well with horror. Like, I think you almost reminded me a little bit of like DMX's timbre. Yeah, like just very hard hitting and very aggressive. Do you think that that aggression is because of your history with metal music and being a huge fan of that, and then bringing it over into the rap, and then maybe a little bit of horror as well? Because I mean, there's many different styles of rap. You have fast paced, you have some of that mumble rap, you have some of the classical beats, but you have some of them that are just very hard hitting and aggressive. So I'm very curious if, of all these different influences, what had more of an effect on that style, or did you not even notice?
That's definitely the metal kid in me. Like I always wanted to be in a brutal death metal band or deathcore band or something like that. So when I get in front of a mic, I just like I almost act like I'm in a metal band, like I get into that zone, that fucking I just channel that part of me growing up where I had all that aggression. Like I wasn't like, I'm not like a super angry person. I just really like angry music.
That's probably why you're not really an angry person. You get it all out in the music.
Probably. Like people hear my music and they probably think I'm fucking crazy. But I just want to chill and watch movies, man.
I think everybody that's a hardcore fan of like deathcore and then like really big horror fans has some kind of screw loose, just a little bit. Just just that one thing. We like to watch horrible things happening to human beings and other creatures. So there might be some.
Most of the time we laugh when it happens.
Oh, absolutely.
Like my buddy comes over and he's like, dude, let's watch Cannibal Holocaust. The movie's hilarious. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong?
I also like how in your own style, you also don't lose the style of the movies you're referencing in your songs. Like you mentioned that you're going to be making the Scream track meta. You're going to be making the Killer Clowns from Outer Space track as ridiculous as the movie. But the one where I really noticed that was with New Batch, your Gremlins song, where you definitely had some humor in the lyrics.
There was a lot of silliness, yeah.
So I really appreciated that.
Yeah, I do try to match it. Like the Scream one, it starts like, ghost face, no trace, police won't chase, those results you won't face, catch your body, go cold case. And it's just like, the whole time it's like, I'll cut you like a fucking fish and shit like that. It's just like, really aggressive. I swear a lot, and I'm like, I don't like try to match the voices of the killers or anything, but like I try to match the vibe, like the aggression of them or whatever. So like I'm doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre one. I still have to watch. I watched the first and second. I got a bunch of notes from those, but that one, I'm not really sure how I want to take it because Leatherface kind of does have like a soft side that you see sometimes. So I want like a lot of insecurity in his voice sometimes,
Oh, that's interesting. It's interesting. Like, and the whole, gotta, if the Merkins ever go on tour, you need to open up for them. That'd be fucking. That'd be a show. Like I would go.
Everybody asks me, they're like, "Why don't you do a feature with those guys?" I'm like, "Cause they're famous."
Well, shit. It's something I look forward to every Halloween, and now I'm gonna look forward to a new track from you on Halloween too. It's gonna be my two-parter of how it works. I'm always gonna pair it up. That's kind of cool though. It's kind of cool that you respect the movies that you're rapping about because you understand the movies. You're not just approaching this from like well, I'm gonna rap a song and that's it. But you actually take the due diligence to match the style of the movie. I know, and Brandon's a huge fan of Gremlins too. Probably loves it more than the first one. So to have people come in and say, "Hey, I can see it," is pretty cool. It's a nice thing that you're respecting the movies.
I actually didn't even know people noticed that as much as you guys did. So thank you for letting me know that.
It was the unconscious, man. You were doing it, you're doing it under the radar.
Yeah, like I'm kind of just like trying to play that character, right? Like I want to do a Pinhead one. And yeah, he's got that like dark, deep voice like this, right? So I kind of want to like have something like that for the hook, but I don't want to rap like that the whole time.
No. Yeah, a few lines here and there, you probably be fine. Especially if you repeat one of the lines from the movie. That'll work just fine. I know David will be excited when you eventually do a Leprechaun one.
I fucking love the Leprechaun series.
they get more ridiculous. I sat in a bar on St. Patrick's Day and I was hanging out with my girlfriend's friends and Leprechaun in the Hood was on. And I could
the hood come to do no.
Dude, I could not stop watching it. It was the most beautiful car wreck I've ever seen. I could not keep my eyes. I stayed at the bar the whole time. They were all playing darts and shit. And my girlfriend was like, "Are you gonna come over and like hang out with us?" I'm like, "No, Leprechaun in the Hood's on."
Dude, the fact that that movie got its own sequel blows my mind. It gives me hope for humanity.
It does make me happy. And it's kind of cool, man. Like, you get an opportunity because horror is so vast. And you get an opportunity to touch so many different, genres of horror, man. You got a lot of I'm very much looking forward to, what comes next.
I got a lot of work to do.
We all do. We all do, because nobody else is going to do this work for us. So, we gotta keep trucking along, but it's kind of cool, man, because you got a lot of road. You have way more road ahead of you than you have behind you, man.
Exactly. It's not like I'm gonna run out of movies.
No, God, no.
No, not in this industry.
Or
genre.
And if you're ever having a problem, just call one of us. We'll put a DVD in front. Oh my God. Oh, I just thought about that too. We should send them the DVD for fucking Teacher's Day.
We don't have that anymore.
Where do you even find another copy?
I don't know. We'll have to get it from one of our friends. Okay, so there's this. So we host a New Year's Eve party every year. Well, I think we're gonna have a smaller one this year, unfortunately. But but we do it as a thank you to all the people that are involved with the productions and help out the company.
It's basically a thank you to our film crews.
Correct. And we came up with the idea of having like a bloody elephant gift party. So we give it gifts to everybody. And we were at a bunch of the cons, and they have like those DVD tables with a bunch of like dollar movies or whatever the case may be. And I picked up one that was called like Teacher's Day.
And you can tell that the cover was printed out on a home printer. The disc, I think, was a DVD-R, which is like one of those standard white labels with the title written on it with a Sharpie. So it's not even an official DVD.
That is marketing.
So we watched this movie, and God, was it hilariously awful. Imagine a sex-driven horror movie with no nudity in it,
or blood,
and then you get this movie. And it turns out
softcore.
Yeah,
that's an understatement.
The softest of core.
It was really awkward to watch because it's like you're saying to yourself, I know what movie they're trying to make, but they're not committing to it.
Nope.
Have you guys seen The Killer Eye?
Yeah.
No,
I haven't.
I haven't done that yet.
Okay, that's how I felt about that movie. It's literally just a giant eyeball that goes around molesting women.
Like,
and there's like
20-minute
long uncomfortable scenes of like a girl moaning because her nipples are being rubbed by this cornea. Yeah, it's fucking weird.
The guy who made the eye was really proud of his craftsmanship.
Yeah.
And he got to see his creation do things that he never would have imagined.
It makes me like think about like me watching like only 5 minutes of Thanksgiving. I was so fucking uncomfortable.
Like I tried to put on Poltergeist at a party, and yeah, it got vetoed pretty quick.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I like joke with everybody. I'm like, even like with Thanksgiving, even the most actual real misogynistic dude would be uncomfortable with that movie. That's a fuck movie. But anyway, so at the end of this Teacher's Pet, it turns out that this movie was entirely dedicated as a promotional tool to further this guy's rap career, and he rapped about bananas.
All right, like exclusively just about bananas.
Yes, exclusively about bananas.
And the weird thing is, it felt like one of those like kids rap songs.
I'm really interested.
Like,
like nothing made perfect sense.
I'm the horror guy. He's the banana guy. Makes sense to me.
Either way, we were all super confused by the end of it. It's just like, what the fuck did we just watch?
Well, I mean, like you have like a lot of options. Like, there's only so much you can rap about a banana. I mean, I don't know. I've never really given it that much thought since then. I suppose you could, but
I bet he would have like a whole discussion with you about why he does it.
I'm very curious.
I fucking love bananas.
The bananas are fucking amazing. Oh my god. it was just fucking priceless. So I'm, you know what though, I'm curious. Is there any movie that you won't do? For whatever. Any horror movie,
I don't like it.
Like,
Well,
don't,
I'm not going to do something that I don't like or that I wouldn't enjoy or find some kind of entertainment value in. I'm not sure. The movies that I generally don't like, I probably couldn't see myself even making a song, like a character type song about, like I hated Mother. I know a lot of people loved it, but I hated that movie. But it's like, how could you even really write a rap about that anyway?
that was the one
That
with
sounds familiar.
with
Which one was that?
that's
Jennifer Lawrence?
Jennifer
Oh,
Lawrence.
right.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, I didn't care for that one at all.
Was that A24?
No, you would think it's A24, but it's not A24.
The Zach has
Actually, hang on. What is your thought on A24 movies?
Zach,
God.
no.
The Zach has a deep hatred of A24. Don't take it personally. It's not you. It's them. Easier question. Would you ever rap about an A24 movie? I don't think there's much there. Like, it's not really,
I'd have to like really think about it.
There's
Yeah.
nothing to rap about. Nothing happens in those movies.
He gets a little bit of emotional therapy out and everything else. So, what's another, like, so let me ask you a question. Besides Mother, what's like your least favorite horror movie? I always like hearing this just because there's like sometimes you get something like that everybody loves that you just hate besides, and obviously the Mother was very, was somebody that, a lot of people liked it, but you didn't. So I'm curious, is there anything you don't like?
I wasn't a fan of It Follows. I know everyone seemed to enjoy that movie.
I agree. I 100%.
The soundtrack is great. Like the audio in that movie is brilliant, but I wasn't into the concept or anything like that. Like an STD ghost, okay, that could have been an awesome cheesy movie.
It's called Night of Something Strange.
Is that
that's a real movie.
That is awesome.
I'm gonna watch that movie.
Cool.
There you go. There you go. You get some good recommendations every once in a while.
Hang on, what's that? Yeah. So you said you grew up loving like heavy metal, deathcore, and all that. Have you ever considered doing like a heavy metal like song or just like a heavy metal horror theme song based off one of the movies that you watch?
Well, I actually work with a guy who was in a band called Slumlord, who are like brutal, like beatdown music. So I'm probably going to be working with him on something really heavy soon. Like I've always wanted to hear like a brutal rap track, but with like gutturals in the hook or something, or like pig squealing and shit like that.
That sounds fantastic.
Just like obnoxiously heavy rap.
I'd be definitely down for that.
You caught my attention.
You definitely caught my attention. I have a lineage. Like I can listen to everything from from 50 Cent all the way down to Metallica, Pantera, the Frank Sinatra, the Backstreet Boys. The list goes on of how diverse my musical tastes are. It's kind of a strange little thing. So yeah, it'd be cool to see you mix genres. That's what I always love to see, genre mixing. I got him really into the Body Count. And I find it hilarious that he's like, the massive, like not very with rap, but very much with metal. And then like one of my favorite metal bands is by a guy who is a notorious rapper, which is great.
Yeah, and actor.
Yep, he's made
quote unquote.
He plays himself on Law and Order. The same dude for like 25 years. It's been ridiculous.
Yeah, no. After I heard his cover of Rain and Blood, I'm just like, and you have my attention.
Yeah, and he did an awesome cover of one of I think it was Ace of Spades. It was Motorhead's Ace of Spades. He really loved Lummy, and he wanted to give a tribute to him. He has a lot of really good tracks.
He does.
It would be cool to do like an odd time signature rap to like a Meshuggah song.
That would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. There's a lot of cool things that you can really cover. It's kind of the sky's the limit, man. You could really take it really far. I'm very interested to see how everything goes. So I think I can do the question of the podcast and let you know if you have any other final questions.
No, I'm
Go
good.
ahead.
Cool. So usually what we do is we kind of wrap it up with I do a question of the podcast.
We haven't done one in a while.
Yeah, so I think I think it's a really good idea. So I gotta say this disclaimer for you. Obviously, I don't think you would pick it, but besides yourself, what is one of your favorite Halloween or horror themed songs / bands that you really enjoy listening to? I always try to make a pretty mean Halloween playlist, and I'll still listen to it like throughout the year. So I'm very curious on like what some of your favorite Halloween or horror tracks and or artists that are out there. I know this might be a little bit harder for Brandon, so we'll let him go last.
I'm probably the most musically challenged person you will ever meet.
No worries at all. I mean, like Brother Lynch Hung for me is up there. He doesn't like specifically rap about horror movies, but I mean, like it's horrorcore, so there's the references in there. I'm a big fan of like G Moski. He's like another one of those just dark, brutal rappers. 3-6 Mafia.
Of course.
Yeah.
The story about them in their getting their Oscar and literally bringing it everywhere is hilarious.
That's awesome.
It's so fun. Like they brought that like like one of the guys tried to hang it like as a chain. I'm not kidding.
That's a heavy chair.
They're like, and I'm like, oh, that's amazing because it really is hard out here for a pimp. It's rough. But yeah, that is amazing. Anyway, any other artists or songs that you really dig that are Halloween horror influenced or directly about that?
Yeah, I can't even really think of anything right now directly. Just because like I don't really focus on that when I do listen to music. Like if I do put on music, I'll just look up like deathcore playlist on Spotify or whatever and just jam out to some fucking brutal gutturals and shit. But yeah, like I mean the Merkins, those guys are killing it.
Oh, absolutely. I remember I showed I think I showed Zach that video. We died laughing the entire fucking half a block we walked. We were just dying. People thought we were like watching that video and laughing hysterically.
Ice Nine Kills are killing it too, man. They do kind of what I do almost,
but
really? like metalcore.
Okay, all right. So they're doing the other half of the coin. Yeah, that's awesome.
It would be crazy to get a feature from them, but they're famous and I'm not. So
it's coming. Don't worry about it.
We'll see, man.
It's
2021.
Exactly, man. You're on your way. We're just lucky to get you while you were small. So we can get you on the interview. A couple more years, you'll be like,
fuck them. A couple more years, I'll be flying down there. Check out that movie collection.
We'll take it. We would love to have you in the in the little studio. We're actually in the process. I'm actually building an actual legitimate podcasting studio with the whole nine. The switchers and different cameras. So we would absolutely love to have you come down. And then and then what we do in the normal podcast is we do a genre of horror. Or a topic of horror, and then we just go around and kind of bullshit about it for an hour and a half. So we would love to have you back on. That'd be fantastic. So Zach, what are some horror or Halloween themed songs that you really dig?
Well, the biggest one I listen to all the goddamn time is Slayer. I'm a fucking Slayer fanatic. Other than that,
I know it's a tough question, right?
Yeah, no, when you're put on the spot, it sucks because it's just like, and fuck.
I always every once in a while I get them. There's been a few questions that I've been able to give some profound thought behind people.
When it comes to like, I also listen to a lot of horror tracks, like from movies. Like I'll listen to the soundtrack from Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street all the time. Fucking Hellraiser, like the Hellraiser theme from the first two movies specifically.
I have those on vinyl.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Like I mainly do it when I'm at work or when I'm writing and shit like that. But yeah. yeah, that's really my answer, I guess.
Brandon.
I listen to a lot of Alice Cooper.
Oh, The Godfather. Of
Yeah.
course.
Why the fuck? Oh man.
Yep. There's gonna be a lot of that, bro.
I'm kind of ashamed of all three of you for not thinking of it first.
Yeah,
considering
exactly.
most musically challenged person on the planet.
Again, when you're put on the spot, it's like, fuck.
And I like.
I'm
Alice
like,
Cooper.
who does horror
Actually
music?
sought out the 1979 Marvel comic book that he started.
Really?
Yeah,
You have it?
I do.
That's awesome.
The original printing.
That's back when he was drinking. He did a lot of wild decisions back when he was drinking.
This might have been right after that.
Was it? Okay, yeah, because he got sober very early
Yeah.
on, much earlier than everybody else did. Because he's like, I'm gonna die if I keep drinking.
Like
Probably the right
I'm
decision.
not too familiar with the timeline of his life, but I know the 2 CDs of his that I have were like the 2 albums that he refuses to perform live because he legitimately doesn't remember writing the songs in those albums. But I can't remember if those albums were mid 70s or mid 80s off the top of my head.
I think he stopped drinking in the late 70s, early 80s. So I'd be very curious. I have a lot. I'm a big, like I said, I'm a big music nut. So I'm just curious about that. 1977, holy shit. That's when he got sober in 1977. So he was really early on.
Yep, 77.
So obviously, yeah, Alice Cooper's huge. Marilyn Manson, Rob Zombie, Slayer. I love the Will Smith track, Nightmare on My Street.
Hell yeah, with Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah, with Jazzy Jeff, love it. And actually, and Zach's like a biggest like Fresh Prince fan, television show, and
Plus, I'm seeing 77, but I'm also seeing 1982.
you might have a relapse. But actually, I played that for him, and we were in a bar, and it was around Halloween. And he's like, how have I never heard this? I love Nightmare on Elm Street, and I love Fresh Prince. I've never heard this song before.
I love it when the Freddy voice comes in. It's just so corny and awesome.
It's amazing. I got the mind and you got the body and everything else.
Yeah.
We got a lot of work to do, you and me.
That's dope.
Yeah. Oh man, it's fantastic. Yeah, and then of course Slayer. That was it. I mean, I think that's a pretty good. And then of course Misfits. I'm a huge Misfits.
Right, they have a Pumpkinhead song, right?
I think so.
I believe so.
I believe
Pretty
so.
sure they do.
It's Halloween punk. I mean, it's I've saw them live too. They were fantastic. I didn't see it with Danzig. Who Danzig has a bunch of great tracks on his own. He doesn't make so much good movies. We just saw one recently. It was god awful.
You ever seen Veronica?
No.
Don't.
Okay.
Patience of a Saint.
Unless you have the patience of a saint. Yep. One girl has eyeballs on her nipples.
Well, here's the thing.
Okay.
Without context, that sounds hilariously awesome. But the problem is, after that, it's boring as shit.
Yeah, like I'm
happens.
picturing Tokyo Gore Police, but I don't think that's what I'm gonna get.
Whatever you're picturing is probably a lot better than what the movie actually is. It's a lot of just nothing happening.
Yeah, when I saw them, it was Jerry only up in front, and they were fantastic. It was right, and it was like a weekend before Halloween, so it was fucking perfect to see them. So it was fantastic. I'm a massive fan of all that different types of music, and it's cool. It's cool to it's cool to be eclectic and to like different kinds of music, so I can talk to everybody. And the funny thing is, and the last thing I'll say about that is it's kind of cool to have knowledge about the rap community and then have knowledge about the metal community, because there's a lot of fucking similarities between the two. And I've seen the same fights about who's the most important and who's this and who's that.
Who's the hardest. It's like the two extremes of music.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. There's so many similarities in like the vibe of the music, but my metalhead friends don't get along with my rapper friends and vice versa.
Yeah, and that's maybe because they're too similar. That happens too.
They're probably it's because like in the rap community especially, a lot of people are like hard-headed, right? And
of course.
They're very opinionated and everything. I mean, like I saw a
Big attitudes.
big attitude. I saw a 20-minute argument about who's the most influential person in rap, and then and I saw a bunch like 5 people gang up on this one kid who was like, Lil Wayne's the most legendary, and then everyone destroyed him.
I mean, to that kid, he is though. So it's like
it's true. It's very personal. About what that is. But I was just sitting out there laughing at my one buddy Mike, who was working with. He's like, dude, why are you laughing? And I was like, I'm a fan of metal and rap, and it's the same fucking argument. It's literally the same argument. It's just the names have changed, but it's the same intensity. It's the same dynamics. It's the same. One person always says something that's ridiculous that the rest of the group says, "Get the fuck out of here." Then there's another solid argument. It's the same shit. It's literally the same thing. It's the same family argument that I laugh hysterically about. But
there's those guys that are like, Tupac's the greatest. Anybody who disagrees with me is a fucking idiot. And then there's those guys who are like, if you don't listen to Deicide, you're a pussy.
Yeah, then it's Biggie, then it's Dre, then it's Eminem. The argument goes on forever and ever. And then oh god, it can go on forever and ever. But that being said, I think this is a perfect time to close it out. Thank you very much, man. I'm so glad that we were able to finally get this done and going. I know it was a lot of scheduling back and forth. I know you had work, but I do appreciate you coming on, man, and chatting with us, and talking about all the amazing things that you got coming up.
Thank you very much once again for being here. From my understanding, you've been talking with Mark a very long time over Slasher. Speaking of Slasher, all you listeners out there can follow us on our social media at Midwest Horror Network on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Slasher.
And of course, if you are watching this on YouTube, go ahead and give that like button a stab and that subscribe button a smash, and click that little dingy bell to be notified every time we drop amazing content on the Midwest Horror Network channel. Thank you so much. And thank you to our guest, Poltergeist OD. Where can our audience find you and find all of your amazing stuff?
Obscene Division's a little easier to find. Quick search and you'll find us. But Poltergeist is tricky because there's the movies, and plus I think there's a metal band called Poltergeist. Anyway, if you look up Poltergeist OD, you'll find me. I'm on Instagram at Poltergeist_OD, same on Slasher. I'm on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Google Play. What else? Deezer, anywhere where you can stream, I'm there.
We'll be sure to leave links below in the description.
Absolutely. So thank you so much, man, for everything. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and we'll all see you next time on the Nightmares Podcast.